Hi, lovely people. Welcome to another exciting episode of Hot Takes and Tea with Emmy and Lulu.
Hi guys, welcome again. How are you, Lulu?
I am fine.
I must say you look gorgeous.
And just for you. Thank you.
Okay, thank you too. Today we'll be talking about boundaries, but specifically boundaries in relationships, boundaries in romantic relationships, and boundaries are limits to what people can take, limits that people set, to things they can do and they wouldn't want to do. Do you agree with that? Do you have different aspects too?
Well, yes, I think boundaries are important in everything. But now in relationship, it is extra important in relationships. But I don't think the boundaries are stated black and white.
Or they should write it.
Yes, like, okay, we'll see. This is a PDF of my boundaries, so go through it. These are the things I like, these are the things I don't like, these are the things I expect, and all that. I think these boundaries should be built over time.
Do you think it's even healthy to set boundaries?
Absolutely. I think it is healthy to set boundaries everywhere. In families, in friendship, in relationships, with acquaintances, with work, co-workers, colleagues. I think boundaries are important. Boundaries will solve a lot of problems.
Help curtail.
Yes, some unnecessary things will not happen if you have boundaries. So yeah, I think boundaries in relationships are important.
Okay, something just came into my mind. When it has to do with relationship, marriage, you know that there are couples that maybe the husband isn't comfortable with the wife receiving help from a particular kind of people. So they set that boundary. You cannot receive help from this person. So even if the person is willing to help, they cannot receive it.
If it makes sense, unless it doesn't make sense, you are in need and someone is offering to help and because your partner, who cannot help you at that time,
right,
says don't take or don't accept this help, it has to make sense.
So are you saying that whatever boundary your partner decides to create for themselves, it should be questioned if you're not comfortable with it?
No. Well, if you're not comfortable with it, that makes it also a boundary for you.
Oh, wow. Okay.
If for instance your partner likes PDA and you don't like PDA, can't you see that there is a problem now?
Yeah.
So I think I
think it also means that boundaries can be adjustable.
Yes, it should be. It should be, because you might have unrealistic boundaries. And then if your partner is able to maybe point it to you that this your boundary does not make sense, if you really want that relationship to work, you're going to make adjustments. Yeah.
Is there any such thing as financial boundary? Like, I don't want you to have access to my money, or whenever we have money, we should put it in a particular account or something.
And it depends now if it's relationship.
Marriage. Okay, relationship. Let's talk about relationship.
Yes, if it's in a relationship, please, let's not cross that boundary. You people should not play. A lot of problem will result from that if it doesn't end well, right? But in marriage, I hear people saying, well, I have to know what he's earning, but what I'm earning shouldn't be his problem. It's not necessarily his problem. He doesn't want to know what you're earning because he wants to take from it. Right? I think your partner should know.
There shouldn't be a boundary to finances, especially when it comes to marriage.
Especially
my thought, our thought.
There
shouldn't be boundaries. There should be openness. Everything shouldn't be placed on a limit.
Because if we are going to make plans about how we'll spend or how we'll make purchases for the home, we have to know what this person is bringing in, so that we can plan together. I mean, but why would you be hiding unless you know that your partner is financial reckless person?
Yeah.
Is an extravagant person.
I agree with
Except that Well, that is another point.
That's another point, actually.
Well, that is why I say everything is per head. Don't put everybody together in one box and then make
honestly,
decisions.
it's possible that the boundaries that you set in a previous relationship
work in your next relationship, because it depends on who you're dating. So I think, take the liberty to set these boundaries based on who you know the person you're in a relationship to be with.
Boundaries can also be set on the go.
Yes.
Right. You can see something that you did not know that you don't like this thing. But on seeing it, you realize that I can't take this. I can't take this.
Yeah, so you set those boundaries on the go. How about physical boundaries? In fact, before we talk about physical boundaries, let's talk privacy.
Okay.
You know,
partners that say you cannot go through my phone.
Okay.
You see my phone?
It's a no-go area.
No-go area.
In fact, what do you think? What do you think about that kind of stuff?
You guys. Well, I saw something recently. The person said, whatever is happening in your phone is between you and God. And I want to tilt to that.
Yeah.
Whatever is happening in your phone is between you, yourself, your sense of judgment and all of that. But I think that you should not clearly state out that your phone is untouchable. There's a bound. I love you so much, but you see my phone, and that sounds like there's a lot going on.
Exactly, that makes sense.
You're even going to make the person more, even if there's nothing going on, I'll become suspicious.
Yes, and the person will be more curious.
Yeah.
Well, I think, personally, I also don't think that I am interested in
what's going on
in your phone. But we've seen many situations that make me wonder if it is important to know what's going on in that phone. Because premium tears, my sister, premium tears. Because many people have found out terrible things about the people they are dating. I think it's better to know than not to know.
I don't even think there's a need to set privacy boundaries. We're together. Yeah. What is so? Another boundary, if you are in a relationship, should be how you relate with the opposite sex. What do you think?
I think that boundary, you should use thick marker, permanent marker, and draw it. Yes. How you relate with the opposite sex is if you respect your partner, if you have a respect for that girl or that guy that is your significant other, you should draw a serious boundary on how you relate with the opposite sex.
Yeah.
It just makes sense. We women, we are very wonderful set of people. we want these boundaries the other way.
But we don't.
You understand? We don't.
There should be a balance.
Yeah,
I mean, if you're complaining that your partner is doing a particular thing, and you look at yourself, you're doing that same thing. You're not just.
Exactly. Right. Like people that say that their love language is one thing and they don't speak it. It's crazy. So it's just same thing in boundaries. If if you don't want me to do it, lead by example. Don't ever do it, and then tell me you don't like it. Yeah.
And another thing is this: there are measures to making sure that you keep to your boundaries, right? So there are people who set goals, set boundaries, and they don't keep to it. So when the accident happens, they're like, but I don't like this thing. I said I was not going to allow it, but you've allowed it. So I think one important thing about boundaries is discipline.
Yeah.
Right. If you're not disciplined, you keep going back on your words. You keep letting people come to your space when they're not supposed to.
True.
So discipline is very important.
Now, talking about space, there are people who keep space boundaries in relationship. Like you cannot come visiting without calling, or you cannot visit me on so days of the week. Or these things happen. They exist. We only see on the weekends. There are crazy things that people
see that boundary of you have to call before you come.
Yeah.
I don't understand it.
Well, that's the thing. I think most of these things should be unspoken rules. They are not things you should say.
Because once you say it, imagine that I'm meeting you, we're trying to get together, and you tell me, don't come to my house like that. Call me first before you show up.
The thing is that it makes sense to call people before coming to their houses, no matter who that person is. As long as you don't live in the same house, it just makes sense that I'm coming. But the idea of if you don't call me, don't come to my house. Like these rules they're not written anywhere, right? But as we are human beings that have sense, we should know. The reason why I will even call before coming to anybody's house is to be sure that you are there, right? It's to be sure that you are there.
So how about that
the person is
there?
Well, and most times these are our women instinct that make us want to go where or go when we are not expected.
Sometimes it's not like you're going with anything in your mind. I mean, you're just going, or maybe you're in the neighborhood. You're like, let me just go.
Well, you can't call to say I'm in the neighborhood. Are you home or I'm coming around? Or... Well, for me though, I think it just makes sense that you call people before visiting.
So no surprise visit?
Yeah, even my surprise visit. Yeah, if you have it, if it's my birthday. If it's my birthday and you want to give me and you want to maybe throw me a surprise, give me a surprise visit, I can understand. Or even family members that show up unannounced. You just show up and you don't call. Please, I don't know though, but for me personally, I think calling people before visiting them is important.
I think so too. But
don't make it look as if it is an abomination for me to I'll be sure. That's when I will show up.
Yes, I agree.
That is when I will show up. Alright, emotional boundaries now. There are boundaries to emotion, especially when someone is unhappy about something. I think giving them space is important. When maybe you have a disagreement about something, I think if someone is in their feelings, someone is emotional about something, maybe angry, maybe upset, maybe whatever.
I know that it is said that you cannot really control how your partner responds to being angry, or some people just go quiet for a while and all of that. Well, for once, I'm not that person that will go quiet. I want it to be resolved. I want us to talk about it and move. But it happens that my partner wants to process it and then talk about it much later. I think that should be respected.
It should be respected.
Yeah. You cannot possibly drag people and force people to respond to things the way you respond to things.
I think if your emotional resolve is to go quiet and then talk about it later, and then mine is to tackle it that time, then whose boundaries should we respect?
Right. Wow, that's true.
Yeah.
Because I want to talk about it now, but you don't want to talk about it now.
In fact, these people that want to talk about things later, when you can talk about it now. I'm suspecting you guys. Because when it becomes, sometimes for your partner, it now looks like silent treatment.
Oh yeah, that's true. That's what it is.
It looks like silent treatment, and it's not fair for somebody who probably wear their hearts on their sleeves, and then they. Please, relationship people have stress.
But at the end of the day, I think that, like we said before, that it's okay to set boundaries. It's okay to set healthy boundaries.
Healthy boundaries.
Right?
That's the word.
Yeah, healthy boundaries. It's okay to agree to do some things and not agree to do some things. And I think that in relationships, it should be, you should not expect. Another thing, you don't expect your partner to guess your boundaries. Sometimes you just have to say it, right? And it's okay, like we said before, to set boundaries and keep to it for a healthy relationship.
Yeah, it's not okay. It's okay to tell your partner when you've probably given them hints and they don't catch it. Yeah, because sometimes we expect these men to read minds. And I wonder why it's so hard for them to read minds.
We're not built the same way.
But we're not that complicated. Are we that complicated?
Next time you say I'm fine to that man, are you truly fine?
That is the point. You should know I'm not fine.
Well,
well, that is the thing about communication. When you understand someone, you even tell, even without them saying a word, you might even be able to decipher what they actually mean. So guys, step up your game.
So,
So,
what are the boundaries that you set in a relationship, in your relationship? Talk to us about it.
how did it go? Did it work? Was it respected?
Were you able to hold up to it, or until long it did not matter?
It's gone. But I think that's the end of today's episode of Hot Takes and Tea, right?
Yeah, it is. Thank you so much. Please do well to like, post this video, subscribe, hit the subscribe button.
Yeah, please.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
See you in our next video.
Bye.